Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fragrant Bunker. 'Tis winter. Look at that. I prompted my bot Bubbles AI to generate this gorgeous winter wonderland landscape in snow. Top 5 perfumes for winter 2025. Welcome 2025 and welcome winter 2025. Now, with global warming and so on, there's a lot of places that do not see snow anymore. But looky, eggs and cookie, we can do a little bit of snow artificially, we can just prompt our AI to say, hey, generate a beautiful snowy landscape with a little kind of vintage looking mansion house there. Could be a horror movie happening there. We don't really know. But look at that. And I just rushed out, and it's really cold out here, and I just rushed out to quickly do this video, and I'm going to rush back in where there's a cozy fire, and a blanket waiting for me, a little bit of eggnog or warm tea with a bit of cinnamon, gingerbread cookies. I don't care if the holiday season is over. I still want to have my gingerbread cookies. So, interestingly enough, I want perfumes to be warm in the cold season. There are plot twists to this, however, because we're going to go on a journey. Now, most of them are warm, but some find warmth within apparent cold. Love that for us. Now, obviously, you could say Chanel No. 5 is going to be on this list for sure because Chanel No. 5 smells of snow. And I know I put Chanel No. 5 in a lot of these videos. I can tell you already now, Chanel No. 5 is not in my top 5 winter perfumes this year. So there you go. Let's begin. Begin to begin, as they say, as Julio Iglesias would say. So let's begin with a very, very warm one. By the way, before we do that, subscribe to my channel, thumb up this video. Let's get to 100,000 subscribers ASAP. And push the join button to become a member and gain access to extra perks. You can also join me on Patreon, superdacob, all spelled together there as well. This video is being filmed live in front of a live virtual audience. I live stream several times a week on my main Super Dacob channel where you can come join the chats. Hello to my co-chattors. Here's the first one, you guys. Gaultier by the Power of Two, the re edition. I have here the 15 ml travel spray, which I adore. I bought backups of this one. When they first re-released this one in 2022, I did not really like the smell, but 2023, they re-released it. Or was it 2024 when they re-released it and they fixed the formula a little bit? Now it smells to me just like the early Y2K version of it, and I adore it. I simply love it. The jasmine in here, the amber in here, that ambergris vibe. And I mean, look at the juice of this thing. I mean, we're talking hardcore, warm fragrance. Gaultier by the Power of Two is really, really beautiful. Francis Kurkdjian is the nose behind this one. And you know what? It's just so sublime in this kind of wintry landscape in the cold. It gives you the vibe. It warms up the heart, but there's kind of a plum, like a plump, plummy, fruity, fleshy, very fleshy texture, pulpy, fleshy texture to Gaultier by the Power of Two. And then, so it's very carnal, but also it dries down to this beautiful, dry, soft, powdery amber. It's really, really beautiful. And the jasmine, it's like, it's a tincture of jasmine that's been kind of imbued in resins and oils and delicious marmalades. I mean, it's not a gourmand perfume. It has its dryness, by the way, but it just delivers. It really, really delivers. I have this one also as a 100 ml bottle. I stocked up. What can I say? Because I'm scared they're going to discontinue it again or they're going to reformulate it again. I like this version in particular. I can tell you also my batch code, 31651. You can check out my review, my first review of the first re-edition, and then my re-review of the re-edition. I've reviewed both of them. Really, really gorgeous. If I find a shopping link to this one, I'll put it in my perfume shopping links here, but I'm not so sure there is a shopping link to this one because the re-edition is, or was until last year, exclusive just to the Gaultier website. I don't know if they expanded the distribution of this one yet. If I find a link, I will post it in my shopping links. Thank you for supporting the channel, by the way. They are like similar to affiliate links, or they are affiliate links, I believe. The next one is the opposite of the heat of Gaultier by the power of two, because the next one is for the, it's cold, but also incredible warm at the same time. This is a masterpiece. This perfume that I'm about to show you now, by the way, thumb up the live stream or thumb up this video and let me know your favorite winter perfumes down below as well. Let's start the conversation rolling. And subscribe. Thank you so much. This perfume that I'm about to show you now is the best neroli I've ever smelled in my life. I mean, it's just the purity of this thing. Oh man. And okay, I'm going to show it to you, and then there's a lot to talk about this, and I will be re-reviewing this one as well. I do have a review that I filmed of this perfume many years ago. It is on my channel, so you can go check it out, but we need an updated review of this one desperately, because I have just repurchased it a couple of weeks ago, and it's brand new full bottle of Eau de Cologne by Chanel. And this is the 75 ml from the Les Exclusives collection. It is listed as an eau de toilette, even though it's an eau de cologne. I would highly recommend getting this one in Europe rather than in America, because in Europe, the eau de cologne still costs less than the Les Exclusives EDPs for now. While in the States, Chanel has been sneaky and they have equaled the price. They have upped the price of the eau de cologne to cost the same as their eau de parfums, which in my humble opinion is not fair. But to each their own. Oh my God. And in particular, so this is batch code, this is very fresh, 0701. This one was manufactured just a couple of weeks ago. You know what I mean? Like as I'm filming this video. So this is very, very fresh. And I gotta tell you guys, or a couple of months ago, you know, in 2024, second half of 2024, I was worried because I do have one of the first bottles of Eau de Cologne made when they released it in the Les Exclusives collection back in 2007, 2008. So it's very intense. It has aged beautifully. It didn't turn in any way acid or whatever. So, but I was worried that they would, with time, water it down. Why am I saying this? Because the actual eau de toilettes of the Les Exclusives collection, whether it be Sycamore, Beige, and so on, they have all been discontinued in favor of the eau de parfums. The only one that stayed unaltered is the eau de Cologne. From the moment they released it, it remained the same. So in 2016, when the eau de toilettes were turned into eau de parfums from the within the Les Exclusives collection, as Jacques Paul left Chanel and his son, oh, the nepotism of it all, allegedly. Everything I say in this video is for entertainment purposes only, not rooted in truths or facts. Everything's alleged and just my opinion. By the way, so as Olivier Polch took over, in 2016, all of the eau de toilettes were switched to eau de parfums and the price jumped up. Coincidentally, 2016 was also the year when Louis Vuitton introduced their exclusive perfumes, which, guess what, were also EDPs. And Dior had their Collection Privée, which used to be colognes, but were switched for EDPs as well. So I think Chanel, that's one of the reasons why they decided to go also with EDP, because all the other brands that they compete with were doing EDPs within their exclusive collections. But we digress. Eau de Cologne remains the only one that did not receive an eau de parfum treatment. How can it? It's an eau de Cologne. I also don't think it's just to call this an EDT, because it's not an eau de toilette, but they list it as an eau de toilette. Anyway, aldehydes, the neroli in here, it's the epitome of a white shirt, an oversized white shirt that dried in the sun, in the Mediterranean sun, with the herbs growing in the garden, and the smell of nature in its at its peak of blossom and bloom, and the chlorophyll is at its peak. And I mean, this thing, I was worried that it's going to get, watered down throughout the years. And here I am buying this in 2024, being super scared of spritzing it the first time. As I sprayed it, I was like, oh my God, this is just as beautiful as the first time. I've smelt this back in 2007. So I'm so happy that Chanel maintained the quality of this. It is superb. This is an eau de cologne that you want, this eau de cologne. Like, this is the eau de cologne to beat all eau de cologne, seriously. And it is so underrated. People don't usually gravitate towards this one, especially in America, because now the price of this one is the same as the Eau de Parfum. So it's like, for a 200 ml bottle, and their prices are going to go up in January. So any day now, the prices are going to go up, probably, allegedly. But for now, it's like 200 ml is $500 plus tax for an Eau de Cologne. That's insanity. That's insanity. So obviously people are like, yeah. Not a lot of people are buying it because it's way too expensive for an eau de cologne, unfortunately. And this is why it often is underestimated. People don't buy it. And that's why I was worried that they're going to discontinue it or that they're going to water it down to save even more money. But nope. As I smell it, it takes me to a whole other realm of where there's this like frost and cold in winter. And the cologne has that citrusy, bergamoty opening with the aldehydes, which also sparkle like frosted little snowflakes or ice particles. But then that neroli, this also has a smidge of vanilla in it, warms it up so delicately and gently. This thing just goes into that direction where you feel so clean but warm and fresh at the same time. It's masterfully balanced. It's not easy to do an eau de cologne. Eau de colognes should have, and they do, matter of fact, they have their own special place in perfumery and perfume history. And it's a special, almost kind of like a sign of privilege and a sign of prestige and pride for a perfume house to have its cologne, Like, it's like perfumers put extra pride in creating their own cologne. All the other perfumes as well, but to have a specially good cologne, it's like an extra little star added to your roster. And Jacques Polge creating Eau de Cologne the way he did, you can really smell, like, he pushed it as far as you can push the quality of a cologne. It's majestic. Really, as majestic a winter can get. And that's why I love it in winter so much this year. I've never had a cologne in winter, like in my list for winter. But this year, it fits. It's the neroli that warms it up and makes me feel so amazing. And you're wearing like a wool coat and a scarf, and then you have this, you're drenched in it. This is a problem with a tiny bottle. You really need a big bottle. You can never have enough eau de cologne. You can keep dousing yourself in it. So this is great to put it in your purse. Or you get the newly released limited edition 35 milliliter ones, which are even more expensive. But we digress. That's my number 2. Oh my God, love it to bits. Number 3 is, again, very deep, very foresty. We are somewhere in the woods here. And maybe we find a special secret passage through the woods here behind the bushes, and we might go all the way behind into the forest, far, far away, because this leads to the town. Somewhere down there, there's a burned cottage in the middle of the forest that has been abandoned and buried for centuries. And we find it from time to time, and we fantasize about its history and heritage. And as we do it in winter, we wear Eau Noire by Christian Dior from their exclusives collection. This is a 40 ml Eau de Parfum, as reformulated by Francis Courjean as he became the artistic director of Perfumes Dior back in 2022. He envisioned and created Eau Noire back in the early 2000s when the first colognes were released, and it was called Collection Privée back then. Then it was called Maison Dior, and then renamed Collection Privée. It was very green. It was a poison green color. And then he took all the colorants out for the re-edition, and now we have this color. It's not the same as it used to be. It was much more deep and warm. Now it's a little bit more flat, and I've heard that they're going to discontinue it again. I'm like, oh my God, this poor perfume. I guess it doesn't sell that well if they keep like making it harder to get and announcing discontinuation. Man, but I love it. I mean, this has Immortelle in it. It has licorice. Oh my God. Has licorice, Immortelle, fennel is in it. There are spices, slightly smoky, a bit of vanilla. There is a form of caramelized, like a memory of caramelized burnt woods in the dry down, which are just delicious. I'm pretty sure I can find a link to this one if Dior still manufactures it. This is amazing. And in fact, when the Collection Privée was launched, it was a unisex collection. There were only 3 of them, Cologne Blanche, Bois d'Argent, and Eau Noire. They were launched within the Dior Homme boutiques, but also at Colette in Paris, and that's where I bought mine back then. But so a few perfumers were hired to work on this collection with the original 3, and Hedi Slimane was the artistic director of Dior Homme. And it is said that Hedi designed the original Eau de Cologne bottles, which are different to the EDPs. It was thinner glass, more expensive glass. I have those bottles. They are gorgeous. You could also unscrew them and use them as a sprayer or as splash. Amazing bottles. They break very easily. I had one actually break. And it is said that Hedi Slimane wanted his own signature perfume and that he commissioned Hedi Slimane to create Eau Noire for him. Also to sell, but he wanted, that was like his perfume. I don't know if Hedi Slimane still loves it in this current form, or if Hedi had some other shenanigans go down when he was working for Celine, and if some of those perfumes were created to match his current taste of perfumes. But the green version, the Cologne concentration in the green juice of Eau Noire was Hedi Slimane's signature scent, it is said, allegedly back then. So then when François Demachy leaves Dior and Francis Courjean comes as the new artistic director of Perfumes Dior, the first thing he does was to reintroduce the 2 classics, the first 2 that he did back in the early 2000s for Dior, which were Cologne Blanche and Eau Noire. I also love Cologne Blanche, but Eau Noire is an extra level of perfume to wear in winter. This is heavy, this is warm, this is woodsy, this is caramelized, this is licorice, it smells of Baroque antiquity. And I wish it were even more deep than it actually is today, because its first iteration of the early 2000s really rendered a Caravaggio Baroque painting with all of the dark shades, the chiaroscuro. The chiaroscuro in the original Eau Noire is on another level. And the fact that the juice was so dark, green, poisonous, it was even more Baroque. Now that that color is gone, even though Francis said the formulation is the same, no, I don't think so. Just the mere fact that you're not calling this a concentration Eau de Cologne anymore, but an Eau de Parfum, is already telling a lot about the change of a perfume, because back then it was only available as an EDC, Eau de Cologne. Regardless, still love it to bits, still hope they're not going to discontinue it, even though they keep saying they will, or they say that they already have. If I find a shopping link to this one from Dior, I'll post it in the shopping links down below. Definitely worth getting. It is a Baroque perfume. The chiaroscuro is a little bit less. Chiaroscuro in Italian means light and dark, lightness and darkness, which is a kind of a typical trait of the Baroque painting. And Caravaggio was a master at the chiaroscuro, at creating those dramatic contrasts of figures popping out from darkness into the light. And you can imagine how it was to see back in the Baroque era times when people were confronted with Baroque paintings. It was very revolutionary back in the day. You have to understand, they did not have electricity, okay? Everything was candle lit. They might have had some petrol, not petrol, but oils of sorts that might kind of flicker and allow candles to last longer, to illuminate lights. But envision these gallery spaces of rich nobility, and mostly the church, who could afford paying for said paintings, had extra gallery rooms and spaces where they would live and experience the Baroque paintings of the time. And we're talking Baroque, the time in which it was happening, not today as we study the past. No, we're talking Baroque as it was unraveling in that moment, as it was happening back then. Now envision the fallen angel, one of the, or Il Bacco by Caravaggio, or one of his angels. There were these boys that he was painting, and they had dirty fingernails, and their bodies were dirty. They already had some pubic hair growing. They had those angelic wings, but they were fallen angels. And the fact that an angel was portrayed with dirty fingernails, that was not something that the church really wanted back then. I mean, angelic visions, they are not from this earth. They are from the clouds. They're not dirty. But Caravaggio's angels were dirty. They were humanized angels. So now imagine being a grande dame of a court that is not confronted with such monstrosities. And she enters a gallery space only candle lit, because there are no windows. Everything is covered with velvets, heavy velvets, red velvets, black velvets. In fact, in this little house, I've covered all of the windows and the walls with curtains, with velvet curtains, for classic for a vampire like myself. And so you enter this room where the sound is absorbed by the velvet, by the heavy velvet curtains and silks and moirés, also in Venice with the humidity coming from outside. And you enter one of these palaces and you're walking down this corridor, and usually for even more dramatic effect, the painting would be covered by a curtain. So imagine seeing Caravaggio's angel, and you enter into this space where on both sides it's like a corridor. And at the bottom of the corridor is the painting, but the painting is covered with a curtain. And the sides of the corridor are covered by velvet curtains and heavy drapery. And you're walking over tiles or wood, and it's squeaking wood, and there's the smell of the lacquer on the wood. And it's only illuminated with candles. There's darkness and light, the chiaroscuro. And then you walk towards the painting, and then as you arrive in front of it, they drop the curtain, and you see the dirty angel with the dirty fingernails. People would faint back in the day when they saw these, but this was like watching a horror movie today. Even though even today we're all desensitized, we don't even care anymore about anything really. But that's what Baroque meant. Or to see Caravaggio's Medusa with the chopped off head, like with the screaming pose and the blood gushing out of its neck. That is Baroque. That's what this perfume originally was. The black water, Eau Noire, in that dark poisonous green. It gave me those sensations whenever I would wear it in the original formulation. I felt like I was walking down that corridor, getting ready to witness for the first time a freshly painted Caravaggio. Number 3. Number 4, unfortunately discontinued, really hard to get, super expensive on the secondary market. But here's another one that takes us back in time. It takes us back on a journey. And I'm thinking there's a pattern forming here. It's very much about isolation this year, 2025, and the winter in 2025. I'm very antisocial in a way. I'm like very much in my own bubble, experiencing my own depths, reading books a lot. Isolation, I think, is the word du jour. Also, as we're going more towards the Middle Ages vibes and trend that I've already initiated last year with a lot of my live streams, and the backgrounds being medieval dungeons and medieval mansions of sorts. Now, this one is also quite Baroque in a way, but could be Renaissance as well. And that would be Vivienne Westwood's Boudoir. Now, thumb up the video, you guys, and subscribe to my channel. So this is our number 4. This is our number 4. I said third before. Sorry about that. If I did say third, apologies. It's the 4th perfume, and it is Vivienne Westwood's Boudoir. Look at this gorgeous bottle. This juice was originally light pink, and there's a lot of vanilla in here, so it oxidizes with time. It turns this gorgeous ambery golden color. It does not affect the perfume. The perfume is just as beautiful as ever. Lancaster is the original manufacturer of it. The last manufacturer and distributor of it is Coty. You can see the difference because Coty has the transparent little plastic thing with the the orb with the metal crown and the ring of Saturn. The Lancaster version had a full-blown metal orb and metal crown. Okay, Coty has that plastic transparent orb and the metal crown. What can I say? This is the boudoir. This is like me in my intimate space getting ready for a live stream, powdering myself, dressing myself, washing my hair. It's a ritual. It's a process. It's very intimate. And there's also post-coital smell in here. Vivienne Westwood wanted that. It's a very, very provocative perfume. It is very sensual, very sexual. The marigold in here is what makes Boudoir so dirty at its core. The marigold has a smell of green soil and leaves that are slightly resinousy. When you kind of rub the leaves of marigold and you smell your fingers, it's a very earthy, soily smell. There's honey in here. There's tobacco in here, a ton of roses and everything. And hay, there's a smell of hay. It's like a roll in the hay. And it smells very organic and very bodily fluids type of vibe going on here. Sweat. It's like human sweat after a roll in the hay. I mean, it's on another level of beautiful. A travesty that it's been discontinued. This is a masterpiece. It has that soft, flirtatious, pink bubblegum opening accord. It goes into a bubblegummy territory, and then from there it starts getting earthy and dirty and soily and physical and very Baroque, actually. More so than Renaissance, I want to say. This is also a very Baroque perfume. Lustful, very lustful. Oh, all the parties that went down in that mansion. So anyway, that's my number 4. If you're lucky enough to find a bottle, highly recommend, although the scalpers out there are insane and they're going to charge you a leg and a kidney for it nowadays. I do hope that Boudoir will be brought back one day, but since Vivienne Westwood unfortunately is no longer with us, I don't have my hopes high that if they do bring it back, that it will indeed still have that original smell of Boudoir. I'm worried that they might water it down to an abysmal shadow of its own self. I love the Coty version, by the way. And last, but not least, is a brand new launch. It did launch late 2024, but oh my God, is this a winter favorite of mine? This is just Shalimar Millésime Jasmine, or the Jasmine Millésime. The Jasmine is actually listed on the little sticker at the bottom here. Is it upside down? Probably. Very hard to see. And because it's a very tiny, tiny sticker. But it does say Millésime Jasmine or Jasmine. Shalimar, Millésime, Jasmine or Jasmine. Now, it has 4 different jasmines in here. Another Baroque perfume. Oh my God. Actually, you know what? But so French. Oof. Indian jasmine. What do they list on their website? Indian jasmine, Italian jasmine, grass jasmine, and all Jasminum grandiflorum for all 3. And then the 4th is again an Indian one, but Sambak, jasmine Sambak. It's a mix of all of them with the famous or infamous rather Shalimar Guerlinade vanilla base, which is just on another level. Look at the color of this thing. This is a brand new batch, you guys, and it's a limited edition. They only made it this year. It's already this dark in color. Okay, the juice is it literally tells the story already that you need to know. I have reviewed all 5 of these perfumes on my channel, so be sure to go check out all of them. I've actually reviewed Boudoir several times, so you can check out several videos of this one. I've reviewed Gaultier by the Power of 2 several times. Eau Noire, I think I have like 4 or 5 videos on all the different variations of it, reviews. And Eau de Cologne is going to get a brand new revamped review from me pretty soon. But you can watch my older review from like 10 years ago. We'll go. And the Shalimar review has been filmed. As you're watching this video, the Shalimar video might be already posted or not, depending on when you watch this video, because it's in post-production currently, the review of this one. If I find a link to it, although it is a limited edition, so I'm not so sure I will, but if I find a shopping link to this one, I shall post it in the shopping links as well. Thank you so much for helping out the channel through the affiliate links, you guys. Shalimar Millésime de Jasmine gives me a warm jasmine that feels like jasmine is a summer plant. It needs heat and it needs warmth, a smidge of humidity, and it permeates throughout the night air, sometimes in the morning, if it's a grandiflorum, in the morning air. But this one, because of the guerlinade, something in this jasmine is so warm and cozy and inviting. It is very much so a perfume for this winter scenario. You know, I mean, I bought it in winter. Well, I didn't buy it. I actually got it as a gift. Not from Guerlain, it was a Christmas present from a dear family member. So, but I have never had this one in summer yet. You know what I mean? It was like released in like September, October, November. I got mine in December for Christmas. So I have not had the chance to sniff Millésime Jasmin yet in summer. So I don't know how this is going to smell like in the summer heat, but we'll see when we get there. Maybe it's amazing. I don't know yet, which is also beautiful when there's like a brand new perfume that you love so much and you don't know yet it's virgin territory. You don't know yet how it's going to react in a certain climate and certain temperatures. So you just you're titillating in anticipation for what's going to happen in the future. So this one is bringing me hope and joy and thoughts about, maybe it's going to work in summer, contrary to what I think. Right now, I think, oh, it might be a little bit too heavy in summer, but you never know. Maybe the 4 jasmines in here in the heat of the summer on the skin, maybe they're going to blossom like it's nobody's business, and maybe it's going to be even more magical than in winter, but it works in winter for now. But I have a sneaky suspicion that this one in summer is going to be the bomb in a good way. So I'm really looking forward to this one, kind of discovering its story and trajectory as time goes on and as we get closer and closer to spring and then ultimately summer. I never say no to a jasmine, though. You know what I mean? Because I love my jasmines. This is gorgeous. Just gorgeous. And I love Shalimar so much. So this has been a very, very pleasant surprise and a beautiful addition to my Shalimar collection. The Millésime Shalimar Guerlain with a gold sticker. Last year, there was the dark blue sticker with gold trim for the Millésime Iris, the Iris Millésime, which is also gorgeous. You can go check out my review of the Iris Millésime. This year they did the Jasmine Millésime. And rumor has it that end of 2025, they might release a limited edition Rose Millésime. Really looking forward to that as well because I love my Guerlain roses, especially if they're from Grasse. But one thing at a time. Let's enjoy our Jasmine for now. There you go. That's my number 5 for this winter 2025. I am freezing, and I'm going to go into my little tiny house here and look at my little Caravaggio paintings hidden behind velvet curtains. Live my isolated bubble winter life in 2025. Let me know your favorite perfumes for this winter or any other winter. What are your favorite perfumes in winter in general? Thumb up this video, subscribe, and until next time, never forget to never give up on fragrant love. Bye.